today?
Okay.
Okay, so we are in Madrid. I'm with my friends and my parents over here. And so this is Pedro Luis, this is Pedro, and this is Amor. We're all in Madrid and we are just chatting, and just Antonio asked me how to draw the sneakers in 3D. So it's very in perspective, and let's see how it works. So for the choice of the pens, I have 3 here. I have preferences for these 2 here. This is a big pen here. Here is more like a gel pen. So to see the difference, this one is easier to have different pen pressure, and this one is actually more, how to say, monoline, I would say.
Yes.
And this one has more pressure, sensitivity. So I quite like this one. And here is quite good to bold after that. When you draw something, you just want to highlight some stuff. And you can also have some different size of pressure as well to play with. So that's quite cool. This is just a regular pen, crystal. Is it okay? You can see Peppermint as a felt pen. Okay, so I will start for a 2D view first, just as introductions. And if you have questions, you ask me.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. So basically when you draw a shoe, it's all about proportions. And the common mistake is that you try to draw a shoe first. Like let's say you want to draw the shoe, outsole and lace or whatever. It will be hard to get the proportion right because there's too many details involved. So what you need to draw is never start with the shoe. A mistake. Never start with the shoe. It's basically like you need to think like a shoemaker. And the shoemaker, when you do a shoes first, is what you call the last. And the last is something like that. It's more like the standard shape of a foot.
Yes.
So basically you have to imagine like you have a foot inside. Something like this. And when you got this standard shape, you can draw on top of it any kind of design you want. And this is what is going to be very cool for your creativity. Because when you draw this, you don't think about all the details. You just think about the type of last of shape you want, like this. And when you have this, which is actually, I consider like 70% of the job, you just need to focus on creativity. Proportion is there already, proportion. Which is give you freedom for creativity. Alright? And what is cool with that is that as soon as, let's say you got one last, you can use more papers and you can use as underlay and draw many more designs. And so you get more productive, which is actually quite a good trick, I would say.
As a template.
Yes, as a template, that's correct. And so you save a lot of time. And yeah, so what I do for the proportions basically is that when you have a last, you know that the heel interests me. This is shorter. This distance interests me as well. This is longer. And here is like more like the arch heel. And many people when they do a shoe, they think like slices like a 3D software, like that way. But once again, this is a shoe, so there's like different way to approach it. It's to more like a shoemaker, and when you take the measurement, you actually take more like in this way, which is actually more interesting. And this is how we are going to approach it. And I like to see like all these kind of lines like this. Here is more like static; it's going down, stability. And here, like you can see, this line is like turning. It's more looking for flexibility. So this is like the kind of things that you need to think about when you are designing your shoes. That's why, like for example, you have shoes like I don't know, this very quick doodle. Let's say stability, like the bounce is very like Adidas doing like very big bounce here, and here it gets smaller because they want to get some flexibility. Or when the shape is doing this here, because you see like it's like closing. So all your design is along all these imaginary lines. Hop là. Imaginary lines. Alright, so you have to keep all these in mind. Stability, well, once again, and flexibility here. Alright, okay, so now let's go on 3D. And so what you do on 3D, how I start is I start with the outsole, or insole, I would say. It's like the bottom part here, and then I will build up the top. So basically I do this, you see the heel, which is here, just ellipsis. I do another one big here, which is here, and then I do a line here, which is connecting them. And then here, this is the outside line, and then here is the inner. Here. So basically I got the outsole here, and then I elevate it, not like vertical, but like this. This is here, about here, and there's another one on the other side. If I do in perspective, it should be about here, and so I just do arch like this, and this line here is somewhere here. Okay, this is like the top of your floor. And then I got this here on the top, which is here, and I can connect the rest. And I got the rest. So basically here on the top is like a cross, like this. Up. And I got this in 3D here. Right? Okay. And so you have the last, you have this thing here, and then you can do whatever you want for your design. And in your mind you can actually visualize all these imaginary lines here. Like this one will be like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. See, all these imaginary lines are actually showing the volume of your last. So it's like a 3D software when you see like a grid. Just that, once again, it's not slices like that.
Wireframe.
Yeah, like a wireframe. Wireframe in 3D, but you can use it as a guide to draw your design. Okay? And so in sneakers you have mainly, here is called the heel cap here, you got the toe here, you got the quarter here, you got the tongue here, and you got the eyelets, you got the lace. So that's the basics of it, and then you got the Nike logo here. And then you know the different pieces, and so you just try to assemble on your last. So let's say here, which is this part here, and when you draw here, let's say this is the heel, you draw this here, you always need to check this line. Where is it in transparency on the other side? And so this is here. So in your mind, you can already visualize that it's going like this. So when you come here on the border, always remember to go back. So it won't be like this. It will be like something like this. Oops, exaggerate. You know that it's going back. So you have more volume and you won't look flat. Yeah, then you have the quarter here. You have here on the other side. I take this point here, right? I just throw it on the other side. It will be here. That's it. And this is connected to this. This is connected to this. Always do the connection to the other side, so you have it in perspective. So basically, it's like if I trace the perspective line, it's like this. You can always keep it in mind. Yeah, then you can have the logo. Adidas at Nike, what logo do you want?
There is one. This Adidas lover, huh?
Yeah, Adidas lover. Yeah. So you do some stripes, and then you put on the quarter. And then you can add some hatching to highlight them. And then you got the laces here. So remember the laces that they follow the perspective as well. And here you got the logo. Here is the internal part, so I like to do hatching inside. So it gives the contrast from inside outside. Contrast. And then you can draw the outsole also. It's here. And that's it. If you want to add some a bit more some details, you can add some stitching like this. If you want to, it's just optional. It's not compulsory.
Very nice.
That's it.
Very nice.
Then which day are we today? Which day are we today? We have a Friday.
Today Friday.
Friday. Which number?
15.
15 December. And then you can add a date, so you can see your different progression along the way. And 17. Madrid.
So cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Very nice.
Thank you.
One is more detailed, but the other ones are more. I think it's very nice for a beginner is to start with a 2D page, and then when you have the idea and generate some concept, you can jump into 3D with more details. So say you can add the logo to your product.